Okay, so never really made a video like this before where I was narrating it. I just hit record on my audio and I hit record on the PlayStation at the same time. So I'm hoping I can just start both files at the same time and they'll sync right up. So here's it's a quick overview of my base from the outside. Um, and look, I know like if you searched for awesome Subnautica bases on YouTube, um, you're you're gonna see some cool stuff. Bases that are gonna make mine look like a pile of crap. So I know my base isn't like the most awesome thing ever, but I'm in a console. I did have to play the game to get all the materials required to build all this stuff. And this is my base. This base is the one that kept me alive through the game. It's not one that I just made to be super creative, which I love the awesome Subnautica bases that people have made. Um, for the reason of just being super cool, and you'll see clearly I did some stuff just to be cool. But uh, the base was also functional for a good 25 hours of my run through. So I did have two vehicle bays you saw from the outside, which seems excessive, but this one is obviously holding my prawn suit, and this other one here has my sea truck. So got a sea monster poster, another sea monster poster, and my prawn suit. It's called the H2O. No, kind of disappointed. I actually finished my playthrough of this game, and didn't need a prawn suit. I actually didn't even have to build it. I built it after the game was finished, and all the side content that the game might ask you to do was pretty much finished too. And I don't think you really need the prawn suit for anything in Below Zero, but I built it because Subnautica on a prawn suit. And then this is the sea truck. I don't know if you noticed my sea truck modules floating around out there outside the base. This is just the motor part that charges. It's called the H2O MG. Um, and we'll go this way towards the main part of the base. Got a sea truck poster and my Mercury poster. This is the hub of the base, and we'll start at the bottom because down here there's nowhere else to go but up. So my lockers. I won't probably show you what's in every one of them because that's excessive. But you get a little sense of how I play the game, and if I'm gonna want to build something, I want to make sure I've got all the materials for whatever I'm trying to build, and I want to make sure that I know where all those materials are. So these lockers are very organized. Here I've got a fabricator that makes all the stuff out of all these materials. You put it in the fabricator, it makes your tools and stuff. Power cell charger that charges my prawn suit and my sea truck, and then these batteries here. I'll grab a couple of them. They charge all the stuff in my inventory here, my hand tools and stuff. So I've got to keep all that stuff charged out there. All right, second story here. I've got a nuclear reactor. I started off with a bioreactor, like everyone does, I think, but upgraded to the nuclear reactor. Um, and you can see my powers at pretty much full power all the time with this thing. It's really nice. The nuclear reactor you have to continuously, or I'm sorry, the bioreactor you have to continuously feed organic materials into it to keep it powered. This thing, you just pop a couple nuclear rods in it, and you're good to go for a long time. And then you see these X's on the walls, and actually in this room, I just went ahead and put these reinforcements on all the walls. You'll see some other walls that don't have these X's on them, but the X's are providing structural integrity. We're underwater, and so every little thing I do to the base, if I add a window, if I add a door, whatever it is, lowers the integrity, you got to put up these reinforcements to keep the integrity above zero, or you'll lose power and spring a bunch of leaks, pain in the butt. But the reinforcements are ugly, so I put up some posters. This is my nuclear waste disposal for when I have these empty rods. And actually, I noticed I had an empty one here, so we'll take that out and we'll dispose of it. Now I have an actual move upstairs. I have an actual trash can up here. I never tried to put the nuclear rod in the trash can, but I've got a nuclear waste disposal, so I feel like that's the place for that. My water filtration, coffee machine. You can brew coffee, put it in a thermos, and keep you warm out there. Because if you're above sea level and below zero, it's cold out there. You got to watch your temperature gauge. The fridge is actually functional. These marble melons have I don't know if you can see the background of the icon is green, but there's that green bar next to the marble melon, and that's its freshness. As long as I keep them in this fridge, that green bar stays green. They stay fresh. Modification station can make some of my tools upgrades. Make some of my tools upgraded, I should say. Got a focus poster, my kitty poster, and then you can build these jukeboxes, play a little music. And then I've strategically placed some speakers around the base where I thought I might want some actual, music. I built these signs in case, I got lost in my base. So my docking bays, that's where we came in. Living quarters, scanner room, start off over here. Control room, real quick. Oh, forgot to put this say no to sky rays poster here. So you can choose the color of your base. You choose your base name. Mine's called Home. That's not very creative. I wonder if am I just realizing that I can change the name of my base? Is it always called Home? I might have done that for my HUD. I'm not sure. And then the power status, when I had the bioreactor and I was more worried about if I was going to run out of energy. There's times when even with putting fuel into the bioreactor, I was using so much power that I was down to like just my solar panels powering everything. Those are a rough spot to be. The structural integrity I mentioned, I'm at +9, and I don't know if I'm going to be building anything else on the base right now. So +9 is just fine. And then this map here, actually functional. You can actually power or depower any of the separate parts of your base that you've built, and even little tunnels that connect everything. And you'll see in my bedroom, on the living quarters there, why you might want to, I guess, depower something. I guess the other reason would be, if this room was drawing power and I was running low on power, I could turn it off and turn my jukebox off and turn my fridge off and stuff. But we're not trying to turn that stuff off. We'll take a right. We got more signs here in case I get lost. So we'll take a quick right here. Take a look at the 3-story aquarium. So I use the aquariums as elevators, essentially. It seems inconvenient, but this is Subnautica. You swim everywhere. So for this character, I think using this aquarium as an elevator is actually more convenient than an actual elevator might be. And I've collected some eggs, and I know I'm pretty sure that there's eggs out there that I haven't found. I wasn't that thorough with the eggs, but they're still out there. My alien containment unit's not going anywhere, so if I find more eggs, we'll bring them back here. So yeah, there's nothing down here. The bottom floor, it started off as a basement with all those reinforcements, all those X's, and my bioreactor was actually started off down here. And I built up from there, and I found out I really didn't need this bottom floor for anything. But we have a 3-story aquarium now. Then we'll come up right up here to the real top. Okay, there's nothing going on up here. These are all food sources, of course, but I don't come up here to eat. I've got more accessible food. You'll see in a second. So the plants are just here to look cool and to glitch out and kind of poke through the glass. When you're outside the base, you can see the leaves sticking out. So, stuff like that in Subnautica is always, amusing to me. We'll pop back down here, we'll go back to the main level. It's a little disappointing to connect to the different parts of my base. You see here my helpful sign, the docking bay is back this way. I couldn't make all of the different floors connect, which uh, I guess I just don't have enough foresight. It kind of worked out that way, and luckily, through no design of my own, in my first Subnautica base, I had it was set up where like these tunnels that I have, each floor had its own tunnels, connecting each floor. So no matter which floor you were on, you can get to the other part of the base. You know, now you gotta my current base here in below zero, you gotta come back up here. Oh, good thing we came back over here. We forgot the scanner room. Scanner room's gonna give you you can zoom in on kind of a single resource instead of your other option is going out there and meandering around and hoping you stumble across some calverite outcrop. But this is a good example of something that Subnautica does that's just really cool. You've got this 3D map with all this topography, and it's accurate. This is our scanner room. You can see it right here. We'll stand right here. And out here is a very accurate 3D representation of the land around us. So these dots right here, these calverite outcrops, you can see them pop up on my HUD. That's an upgrade that you have to craft. And before you've crafted it, before you have these dots here that you can just follow, you are relying on this 3D map, centering yourself right here on your scanner room, and you look at your compass and you say, okay, 2 clicks to the north from east, there's some calverite outcrops, and you pop out of your scanner room and you go that direction and you look for that stuff about this distance, and you can actually follow these landmarks. And it's just something really cool. Subnautica doesn't need to put stuff like that in the game. They could just from the outset just give you those orange dots that you follow, but instead it's like, hey, survival. This is not realistic at all, but if we wanted to force you to live in a realistic version of these events just for a second, it's kind of cool to have to go out there and look for it, even if you have an idea of where it might be. So we'll check out the bathroom real quick here. This stuff is not really functional. Like, you can turn the shower on, but I don't think this does anything. You can flush the toilet, but I don't think you can actually use the toilet. Some more reinforcements. Again, you build a cool glass dome, but you lower the integrity of your structure. So you build the reinforcements, and then they're ugly. So you put cool art. And all this art is stuff that you found at, again, other space bases or sea bases, and you can grab it and bring it back to your own base, and put it up. So we've got a See, so this is interesting. So there's a boomerang floating around my base. The game glitches out a little bit. There's a fish. The game thinks it's outside, but it's clearly inside. It was in this room. Now, here's my aquarium. The reason I'm glad that we saw that boomerang fish floating around is there's at one point I got in my aquarium here, and you can see it's not overpopulated. There's a couple cool things. I'll turn my light on. We got a glow whale. We got a what is that? An arrow ray, I think it's called, and I don't know. There's a little crab guy. At one point, I got in my aquarium, and there was like 40 hoop fish in here, just hoop fish upon hoop fish upon hoop fish. It was insane. I looked in here, and at first you don't notice, it's just your aquarium, but you look closer, you're like, man, I don't remember putting that many fish in here. And you get in here, and it's all the same kind. And my theory about what happens is I think the hoop fish, which are native around here, I don't even put them in the aquarium to begin with. I don't, because they're everywhere. They're not cool. But the hoop fish, I think, glitch out, wind up in my aquarium, and then I think they breed with each other because I think when you get two of the same fish in these aquariums, I think they will mate and spawn more fish. And I think the game glitches out and puts two hoop fish in my aquarium and makes them have sex with each other. And so sometimes I will come in my aquarium and just have to scoop out and manually grab them. You can grab these fish and you go in there and grab 40 hoop fish and throw them in the trash can and get rid of them. And over here you can see I've hidden some speakers. I hope you guys can hear the music. I'm not 100% sure how the audio works with these recordings. Output to my sound bar right now, but that shouldn't make any difference with the recording. And I found out after I turned the power in here, actually downstairs, before I even had the second level, I found out that these fever pepper trees put off this purple bioluminescence. So they are lighting my base, or at least my bedroom, instead of the gross fluorescent lights. And Subnautica is cool. This light that these plants are giving off is really, you can see it reflecting off the ground and the walls, obviously. But if I were to deconstruct this planter and remove these four fever pepper trees, room's going to get noticeably darker. The light source is gone, so that's pretty cool. And then here's my bed. It's in the observatory here. It's a cool view for when you're going to sleep, right? Why not? Why wouldn't you put your bed here? Speaking of why wouldn't you, I've got this, this toy. We'll turn it on. This is something they put in the game that you have to use your hard-earned resources on. So I built it and put it on my bed. Bed's got a cool sea monster on it. I picked this bed, Subnautica. You go through and in these other sea bases that you find, or space bases, you come across other beds, scan them and get the blueprints. I picked this one, A, because it's cool monster, but B, it was small enough that it fit comfortably in the little glass ball. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, my base isn't huge. Oh, here's my food sources. So you can see how close I am to like my main hub. Spend most of my time down in the bottom crafting things. Probably is where I spent the most hours playing this game. I'm sure you guys can understand. So closer to that area anyway than the top of my aquarium. I might run in here and grab some food from the bedroom. But because I'm me, the door's usually closed. So is it convenient to go through a cutscene to get your food? I don't know. In other games, I guess I've experienced worse than that. So, yeah, that is my Subnautica Below Zero base. I might add on to it, but finish the game. Don't really feel a strong drive to keep exploring right now. Probably a little Subnautica'd out. So, this base will have to do. And it'll be nice to come back to it if I ever decide to boot up Below Zero again. And remember how proud I was building all this stuff. All right. Thanks for joining me on the tour.